Episode 2 of the bonus episodes, if you're following along, switching it up. Michael had this great idea through leading up to Thanksgiving, really.
Yeah.
In November, it's, we can go off script a little bit. We're not tackling a theological topic, but there are, theological implications. We can draw from this and really see God's providence at work through the life and the person of Squanto. And to recap really quickly, because I did not know this, that Squanto's hanging out in Spain where we left off. That he's not hitting the beaches in Spain though.
No. Yeah, so he gets sold into slavery, and so Jonathan Hunt, is it John Hunt? Thomas Hunt takes him over to Spain, and some friars really intervene. So we don't really know what the scene was. Like, some of his friends were sold in slavery. Somehow friars either rescued. We don't have all the details.
So the friars were good. I mean, like they were actively trying to get people out of slavery.
Yes.
Okay.
So either they bought him with what money the monastery had, or they confiscated him. Somehow they rescued him from just normal slavery, and then had him there with him in the monastery. And it's likely he would have learned some Spanish here, because he's here a few years. But he expressed a desire to them to obviously go back to his homeland.
Okay, yeah. So they're trying to work with him to find a way. How can we make this happen?
Yeah. And so they don't have any way to get him back to what I'll just call it America, but it wasn't called America back then. And so they are able to get him now up to England. So he travels to England and lived with John Slaney, who was a merchant, and he was involved in American expeditions. Like, okay, here's someone who's going over to America a lot. And so when he was in England, he was in London, he learned English pretty well.
So he's trilingual, at least at this point. He might even know some other probably native tribe languages too.
So we know for sure he's at least quadrilingual.
Gotcha, okay.
Because he can speak with Samoset.
Okay.
Well, maybe even Samoset, who was a similar tribe. So all of these tribes that were from were the, I think they're all Algonquin. Okay. But they're kind of different splinter tribes of this. And so they all lived in the wigwams and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And so he could speak with the northern ones, like from Canada, Vermont. He could speak with the western ones, which is where Massasoit was. Obviously his own tribe, and Spain, and now England. Yeah,
so even like in this, being in Europe doing all this really set him up well to be an asset down the road.
Yes, yeah. So it's like tough times, not what he would have chosen for himself, but you can see where this could be headed, because now he can speak this English language. He wanted to go home with John Smith, because John Smith knew about him. I think from what we can tell was upset that he was kidnapped, was going to take him back on one of his trips over. But he actually ended up in Newfoundland for a little bit, helping to set up that colony. We don't really have a lot of details. We just know he was there.
Well-traveled. He was everywhere.
Yeah. So then he goes back to England in 1619 for 5 years, and he finally makes his way back to America under the helm of Captain Thomas Dermer.
Okay.
And so that kind of sets the scene for our last podcast. So if you're kind of tracking, he was kidnapped from his homeland, went to Spain, from Spain to England, England to Newfoundland, back to England. Now he's going to travel back to his homeland under Captain Thomas Dermer.
It's great. Can I read this last note you have? I think it's really good to close it out. It's Squanto's knowledge of English made him invaluable as an interpreter. We talked about that, and then I guess this is setting up the next episode. He had no idea that he's going to go back to a tribe that is no longer in existence.
Yeah. So
in just 5 years, or just in this short amount of time.
Yeah. So so he was kidnapped in, what did we say, 1614. So in 5 years, so disease is going to wipe out his local tribe. Wow.
Another downer. I'm looking forward to the one where that's an upper. Here we go. Let's keep moving on.
Yeah. All right. So that's our second bonus podcast on Squanto. That's our take.
Thanks for listening to Take Two. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.